Hello, dear ones. I come to you today to transmit some messages that have been coming through from my guides in this time that we are living in, especially around what's happening to the Palestinian people and the genocide that is taking place on the Gaza Strip. So, what I keep hearing, and something that I've also experienced when I'm doing readings, when I'm channeling, and when I'm learning from the other side, what I call the other side, which is our different layers and dimensions of reality, of existence, that are planes that are right here. They're happening right here. Some of us can see those planes. That's why some of us can see apparitions and spirits and kind of weird things floating by. Um, we're noticing the dimensions. We're noticing that there's a lot going on than just what's in front of us right here, right now. Um, and in that, I have learned so much from my guides and from spirits who have come through, who have lived a human existence and are now living a non-human existence on the other side, in other dimensions and other planes of reality. And one thing that I've seen very often is this ability to reincarnate as something or someone else. And I always have heard of reincarnation since I was a kid, but I didn't really know what it meant. And I've never really had firsthand experiences. And I don't know, I just really didn't get it. And not every spirit will show me this, but the ones who are really, I find, curious and their loved ones are curious, ask for this information. Like they want to know more about what they're up to, what's happening, and the way that they are now taking on a new identity or a new persona. And what I've learned is that what we hate, judge, or have huge feelings around in this lifetime against someone else are the very beings we become. Okay? So, and this is important because what's happening right now is immense dehumanization of a people, and a huge disconnection that we are not connected to those people. The illusion is that there's separation, and there isn't. There can never be separation. We are the same. Our palms, our lines are all the same. We come from the same source. So that separation is constructed and man-made and fabricated by systems and powers at be that want us to be separated, that want us to be individuated, right? But if we actually remember and come back into our humanity, into our heart, into our love, into our emotions, we will actually remember. And we will actually see through our heart, not just our eyes, what is happening to our people, right? This is when empathy really comes into play. If you have the gift of already being an empathetic person, this is the time to share your gift. That might be your activism right now. That might be your movement. That might be your way of supporting or helping. There are a spectrum of ways to support right now and help right now when it comes to what's happening with these Palestinian people, with Gaza, with everything. There might be different ways, but one of the ways that's coming to me, especially right now, and especially with where things are at and the heightened level of terrifying that they're at, is tapping deeper into our humanity and realizing that that mother over there who has lost her entire family is me, or is my mother, or is my friend's mother, or is my partner's mother. And because of what I've seen from the other side and reincarnation, and because of what I experienced over hundreds of souls that have come through my body, what I can tell you is that we have been those people, and they have been us, and we have been those children. And if we haven't been those children or those families that have been killed, we will be, whether it's this lifetime or the next. We all play every single role. And the more we have opposition, the more we have judgment, the more that we hate whatever it is that we hate on the other side of that, whoever that is who we become. Is who we become the next iteration around, if we haven't been that already. Y'all, this place that we are in is a teaching ground. It is viscerally real for a reason. It is not viscerally real to make our lives miserable. It is viscerally real to make us wake up and to teach us lessons that move the consciousness, not just of our reality forward, but of all the realities forward, okay? This is gonna get weird because the realms that I go to and the things that are coming through are not always easy to articulate. They are both the past, the present, and the future combined. They are timeless. So when I speak of time, I'm going back, forward, side to side, everywhere, because that is what we exist in right now. We just don't know it. So every action we take ripples from this time that we are in and can positively or negatively affect the future, and also affect the past, and also affect the now, right? But we are not separate from what's happening right now. If we are the earth, which we are, then the ground that is Palestine is also the ground that we call home right now. It is not separate. In the same way that when you know something is wrong with your friend or your partner or your mother or your father or someone that you haven't talked to in a really long time, and you get a gut feeling, right? Or you get a feeling, I should call this person. I don't even know why. And then you find out why. Something has happened to them, or they really needed you, or they're going through some of the darkest times of their lives. You're nowhere near them, right? You're not even in proximity anymore. You're really far away. You might even be across the planet. And yet you feel each other. Why do you feel each other? Because we're all connected. There is no separation. And so if you're not free, I'm not free also. My liberation tied to your liberation. There is no difference. So if we are in this place of feeling like we have comfort, we have privilege, we have accessibility, we have a warm bed, a house right now, technology to even talk on, all these things, we must use that to do something uncomfortable. Because guess what? Our siblings, our kin, cannot right now. And if you can use your power of empathy, your power of truly feeling the world, I invite you to open it and imagine your loved one, your partner, your child, your father, your mother, your parent, whomever you want to imagine there, in that devastation, without a home, without pants, without food, without water. Imagine them there. What would you do? What would you say? How would you move for them? That right there, that is the answer of how we should be moving for these people. It is no different. It is no different. We go back to sleep when we think that there is space and time and we are not over there. So then it doesn't affect us, or it's not in front of us. So then we're not connected to it. Right? Or we have all these distractions and we keep recycling all these things, but it's preventing us from doing something, from gathering our community, for going into prayer, for calling on our ancestors, for calling on their ancestors, right? There is something larger at play with what's happening right now. And it is asking us to move, to be moved by what's happening. And when we are truly moved, that's the thing. When we are truly moved by something, we have to what? We have to pivot. We have to change. We have to have our daily lives disrupted. Well, Ash, I don't know if I can have my life. Well, guess what? These people literally had their lives blown up with bombs and gunshots. That's how their disruption started. You don't have that right now if you're watching this. And if you don't have that happening right now, that means you're here to give grace to someone who is. That means you're here to dig deep inside of your humanity and remember who you are and who you're connected to. Right? That is the responsibility of the integrity of this time. To say, I got you. I got you. I don't have to know you because I already know you. We don't have to even be in the same place and time, and yet we are connected in space and time. And I got you. Because I will tell you one thing. We are not going to be able to avoid this ourselves. If you're not experiencing something like this, whether it's war, whether it's climate collapse, whether it's devastation from fire or storms or whatever, I will tell you what, it is coming. It is coming. I don't share these things because this is what I see and it scares some people, but it is coming. We cannot escape it. Why? Because we're all connected. It is not to be escaped. It is to be lived into. And then we are being asked to step into who we actually are when these things happen. We can practice all these things in beautiful places and beautiful workshops and beautiful therapy settings and all these that we can say, this is who I am, and so I believe. It all comes down to play when tragedy and devastation and war and collapse and environmental disasters happen. Who are you? Who are you? Who do you say you are? Do they match? If not, why? Maybe that's what you sit with right now. Why? Why don't they match? What's going on here? Why is there, what's happening here? This is what is coming. You are not special from something happening to you like this. We just haven't seen it yet. But let me tell you, if the tables were turned, how would you want people to respond to what's happening to you and your family? your babies, your children, your entire lineage that's been wiped out. Different, right? All of a sudden it hits differently. I'm inviting you to let it hit you now for how we should act, how we should speak, and how we should allow our lives to be disrupted right now. What does that look like? A spectrum. I'm not telling you any sort of way, but what I'm telling you is that when you allow yourself to be disrupted, things change, right? Business as usual doesn't make sense because we're attuning to what's happening right here, right now. So who will you be in this time we are living in? How will you look back and see how you showed up, right? This isn't about shame, blame, guilt. This is about love. This is about courage. And this is about doing what's right, what's good, while we're here. While we're here. So I invite you in this time to get clear, to decide the way, the shape that you can give, that you can be in, that you can claim, that you can hold, that you can be accountable to with what is going on right now, the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. We have so much power. We have so much privilege in the US. And if you are paying taxes in the US that are going to the weapons, the bombs, and the things that are killing all of this people, you're a part of it. You're a part of it. So we have to counteract that. We have to counteract that big time. So what is going to be your move, your slither, your dance, your cry, your shout, your march, your song, your gathering, whatever it is? Decide and be clear and be steady on that. Because our people need us. They need us. They're counting on us. And we're also deciding as a people that every single life matters. That genocide is not on the table. Not anymore. No more. And that a new paradigm is ready to be birthed. Wherever you are, I just invite you to take this in, to take a moment after this to sit with your body, to have a stone, grab a rock, sit near a beautiful plant, light a candle, whatever it is, and let this sink into you. Let your body come online. Let your heart open and just feel. Allow yourself to feel as long as you need until you feel like you can move now. Right? Until you feel like there's space for direction, for taking a small step. for using your voice. We've got to grieve before we can give. We got to grieve. We got to move that energy. That is also the responsibility of this time. Moving grief is active. It's not passive. It's active, right? And that looks like a lot of different ways. We can get in the water. We can go for a walk. We can be with a tree. We can go into nature. We can walk in a park. We can listen to our favorite song and dance for hours. We can roll around on the floor. We can cry. We can scream. We can shout. We can writhe. We can do whatever it is that we feel inspired to do to move that emotion, to move that energy. Because when we don't, it paralyzes us. Paralyzes us. We can't even think about what's going on. We can just numb out. And that's not a bad thing. It just lets us know if we're numbing, grief needs to be felt. It's here. It's actually a signature of grief to be numb, right? So then our role right now might be to start unpacking that numbness, of softening, of moistening, of getting that grief loose, right? And getting those waters around that grief like a stone in the river, so that we become unburdened enough so we can help our kin. We can help our kin who literally can't even breathe, can't stop shaking from terror, right? So take the time you need to clear this vessel and ready this vessel for gathering, for speaking, for moving in the ways that come to you, that you know how, that feel accessible, and what you can offer in this time to our global family. Because we will be here too. Sending love to all of you, wherever you're at, whatever you're going through. Be kind, be gentle, be patient. I'll see you on the other side.